VP of Sales.
Hi, Mrs. Sales Manager.
Man, it's nice to see you today. I'm glad we're getting to talk through some of the needs that our company has.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what are some of those needs?
Well, I really have my first question is, what does communication look like between sales and management?
Yeah, honestly, it has been all over the place. Communication through email and conference calls just really isn't cutting it. And by having maybe a platform to be on the same page with marketing and sales would be helpful, but right now it is all over the place. Yeah.
Well, would it be helpful to standardize which platform that you could use for your reports? So, for example, PDF, Excel, that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. I think that Excel would be the preferred platform.
Awesome. Well, what does the timeline look like for sales to follow up on leads from trade shows?
We currently do not have a system, so a lot of times these leads will fall through the cracks, and it is usually addressed when there's space in between between current clients, and so it's just kind of when there's time. So yeah, I would say as a whole, they kind of fall in between the cracks.
Do you think would CRM software make a big difference?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, why?
I think it would help standardize all of our processes, keeping all of management on the same page with marketing, sales, who's being contacted, when they're being contacted, and the exchanges between them.
What happens to accounts when managers leave?
Yeah, a lot of these accounts are left unattended, and these current clients will move on to other competitors because they're not followed up with as regularly as they used to be.
Who do you think should follow up on the accounts when the managers do leave?
I think the best process would be to bring in current salespeople at that location and to disperse those accounts onto them for them to cover instead of passing them along to new management, which could take anywhere from 3 to 6 months.
All right. Well, thank you very much. You answered my questions. First question I have for you then. How would you describe our current situation with communication with customers and with prospective customers?
Yeah, so I'd say currently we track everything with Excel spreadsheets, but then also have kind of stayed more traditional and have paper trails. So we still have files and people with their own, with the criteria and the different things that we've interacted with them with. And so I would say maybe we're still a little old school, but that's kind of how I've always done things.
Okay. How often does miscommunication for long durations of time happen?
Yeah. Even though having a paper trail, having files kind of makes me feel good, like I had everything written down, a lot of times things will fall through the cracks or will get misplaced or lost, which leads to confusion, and then also things end up taking longer than intended.
And how does miscommunication impact your company?
Yeah, we've had a lot of angry customers, people that have been upset with the process and the how long it takes sometimes, and sometimes they've even left choosing a newer competitor that is a little more high tech than we are.
Well, if you invested in NetSuite, would it make your job easier or increase yours and your staff's quality of work and service?
Yeah, I think it would. It's kind of intimidating because it's so new, but as a whole, from what feedback I've received from my employees, I think it would be really helpful for us to invest in a program like NetSuite. So before my meeting with High Point Solutions, some of the needs I identified first one was in the lack of follow through after sales have been made, or once leads had been identified. Another problem I found was with the service delivery, because salespeople were over optimistic with their forecasts, making allocating and managing capacity difficult. And the third was that after each salesperson leaved a region, there was 3 months of open territory and 6 months to get things back to normal.